How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? As you get ready to listen to this upcoming episode from the Playmakers Blog Podcast, I just want to let you know that you too can get into the podcast journey. It's very simple. It's very easy. All you got to do is jump on Anchor, the one-stop shop for recording, hosting, and distributing your podcast. It is 100% free and easy to use. And even with Anchor, you can get great sponsors who want to advertise your podcast. That means you can get paid for your podcast right away from Jump Street. So in fact, reading this ad is what I'm doing right now. So if you had the time, if you had the will and determination and the dream to be a podcaster, what you waiting for? Jump on it. Anchor is the way to go. You ready? I'm ready. The Playmakers Bar Podcast present Hoops Talk, hosted by Darnell the Playmaker Salins. NBA, college basketball, playoffs, March Madness. No matter what, we talking hoops, man. Let's get it. Ladies and gentlemen, what's going on? You already know. It's your boy, Darnell the Playmaker Silence, bringing you Tuesday's edition of Who's Talk. You know, from the Playmakers Blog Podcast. And, you know, let me first start out by saying apologies for my conspicuous absence. If you haven't seen my post on yesterday, there's no excuse for my absence. I just went on my grind like I was supposed to be. But I'm back on the grind today. And we got some basketball to talk about because it is May 11, 2021, which means after today, there are only 5 days left before the regular season ends. The regular season ends on May 16th. And then we have the play-in tournament on the 18th through the 21st. And then on the 22nd is the NBA playoff. So, we're going to have a handful of games left. And to get started, let's go ahead and recap some stuff. We're just going to do a quick recap from Sunday and Monday. And then we're going to get into what we need to talk about. So Sunday, the results from Sunday took place. We had the Miami Heat walked into TD Garden to take down the Boston Celtics 130-124. Jimmy Butler with 26 points, 8 boards, and 11 assists to lead the way for the Miami Heat. Big win for the Heat to get them in the 6th spot and Boston's in the 7th spot. The New York Knicks took a trip to Staples Center to take on the Los Angeles Clippers. And the New York Knicks came out victorious 106-100. Derrick Rose, 25 points, 6 boards, 8 assists off the bench. The Knicks has been very surprising. Shout out to my boy Nick Russell, who's a big Knicks fan. Shout out to Stephen A. Smith, one of my favorite people on television, who is a New York Knicks fan. Shout out to Spike Lee and all the Knickerbocker nations out there. The Knicks are something to behold. The New Orleans Pelicans went down in Charlotte to take on the Hornets, the most fun team to watch in the NBA right now. And the Pelicans got a much-needed win without Zion Williamson. 112-110. Eric Bledsoe, 24 points, 11 assists. Good job for Eric Bledsoe. And then the nightcap for Sunday, we had the Phoenix Suns in the Staples Center to take on the Los Angeles Lakers. No LeBron James, but it didn't matter because Anthony Davis was there for the Lakers. 123-110, the Lakers took the win over the Phoenix Suns behind 42 points from Anthony Davis. They go along with 12 rebounds and 5 assists. That was Sunday's results. What happened last night? Last night, the San Antonio Spurs took down the Milwaukee Bucks, ending the Milwaukee Bucks winning streak. I believe it was at 5 or 4. I could be wrong. 146-126, a beatdown in series. Matter of fact, the San Antonio Spurs scored, I believe, 87 points in the first half, which is ridiculous to score that many points in the first half. Matter of fact, it actually set a franchise record for points in the first half. DeMar DeRozan led the way with 23 points. The Washington Wizards was in the ATL to take on the Atlanta Hawks, and the Atlanta Hawks took this one 125-124. Trae Young, 36 points, 6 boards, and 9 assists. Big shout out to Russell Westbrook. He has passed Oscar Roberts as the triple-double king with his 182nd triple-double of his career. He did it last night against the Hawks. I believe he did it midway through the third quarter or fourth quarter. He missed the game-winning three-pointer, but it is what it is. Shout out to Russell Westbrook on your achievement for triple-double king, breaking a 47-year-old record held by Oscar Roberts. Congratulations to Russell Westbrook. There will be more triple-doubles to come to ensure, so he's going to not only break the record, he's going to shatter the record, and it's going to be a mark I don't think nobody else is going to duplicate, to be honest. I really don't. Russell Westbrook still has years to play. Russell Westbrook hasn't been that much injured. He's been injured, but he hasn't been injured a lot. So he still has mileage to go. He still can go. So he could most likely break past 200 triple-doubles in his career. It's very possible. He's already at 182. He's only 18 away from 200. He can do that next season. He averages about 40 to 50 triple-doubles a season anyway. So we could be talking, though, 250 by the time he retires. Maybe 300. Who knows? But congratulations to Russell Westbrook on that achievement. We had the New Orleans Pelicans coming off their win of Charlotte, as we said, on Sunday. They took the trip to Memphis to take on the Memphis Grizzlies, and didn't end well for the Pelicans. 115 to 110. The Memphis Grizzlies took that one. And then your nightcap, we had the Utah Jazz in San Francisco to take on the Golden State Warriors. The Golden State Warriors took it 119 to 116. Steph Curry. 36 points, his boys to lead the Warriors over the number one team in the NBA. Good win for the Warriors. Now that we are caught up with some action that took place with the last 2 days, the East standings look like this. At number one is the Philadelphia 76ers at 47-21. In second place is the Brooklyn Nets at 44-24. The Milwaukee Bucks, the lone team who clinched their division in the East, which is the Central Division, 43-25 at third. Number 4 is the New York Knicks at 38-30. Right behind them at 5 is the Atlanta Hawks, 38-31. Sixth place is the Miami Heat, 37-31. In the play-in spots at 7, the Boston Celtics, 35-33. Number 8, the Charlotte Hornets, 33-35. Number 9, the Indiana Pacers, 32-36. And the Washington Wizards, after that loss to the Atlanta Hawks, dropped them to 10th, right at the cut line, 32-37, with only the Chicago Bulls on the outside looking in at 29-39. They are 2.5 back of the Washington Wizards. That's the East. This is how the West looks. Top team in the NBA, the Utah Jazz, 50-19. Second in the West is the Phoenix Suns at 48-20. Number 3 is the LA Clippers, 45-23. Number 4, the Denver Nuggets, 44-24. The Dallas Mavericks, who have clinched the Southwest Division, at 40-28. And at 6th place, right above the play-in line, the Portland Trailblazers, 40-29. In the play-in spots, the Los Angeles Lakers, yes, the reigning defending champs, are in the 7th spot at 38-30. Right behind them at 8 is the Golden State Warriors at 36-33. In 9th place is the Memphis Grizzlies, 35-33. By the way, the Memphis Grizzlies, with that win over the Pelicans, have clinched the play-in spot. So they are in the play-in spot. And then the 10th spot right above the cut line is the San Antonio Spurs at 33-35. On the outside looking in the West at number 11, the New Orleans Pelicans, 31-38. And then number 10, the Sacramento Kings, 30-38. The Pelicans are 2.5 games back of the Spurs, while the Kings are 3 back of the Spurs. Not too many games left for the Pelicans and the Kings. But like I said, Greg Popovich is probably one of the best coaches to ever coach in the NBA. will find a way to get the Spurs into a playing game. Most likely it'll be against Memphis or Golden State. But Greg Popovich will find a way. Now, if you've seen the post on that, either on my page or the brand's page, by the way, you can follow us on social media, the Playmakers blog on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Or you can follow me down at Playmaker Silence on Facebook or D20 Playmaker on Instagram and Twitter. If you've seen my post, you know there's two teams I'm looking at right now because two players involved. The first one being the Boston Celtics. The Boston Celtics have lost Jaylen Brown for the rest of the season. Torn ligament in the wrist, and he does require season-ending surgery. Now, why do I want to talk about the Boston Celtics? Shout out to my boy Bernard. Whenever you listen to this, I'm giving you a shout out. I know you're a Boston Celtics fan. But at this moment in time, you might want to close your ears because you're probably not going to like what I'm saying. But I'm speaking truth to power. The loss of Jaylen Brown and the Boston Celtics most likely playing in the play-in tournament hurts the Boston Celtics. Why do you say that, Darnell? Talk to us, Playmaker. Well, I see it like this. Jason Tatum is going to do what he does. But when you have Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown doing what they do, it's hard to beat the Celtics. And then when you add Kemba Walker to the mix, three-headed trio, it's really hard to beat the Celtics. Now you taking away a guy who averages about 28 points a game? About 20 to 25, 20 to 28 points per game? About a good 8 rebounds a game? I mean, you're taking away a very valuable commodity of the Celtics. That means other people got to step up. That means Kemba Walker needs to turn into Kemba Walker. Marcus Smart needs to have those type of games that he know he can have. If I'm Brad Stevens, I might need to play Peyton Pritchard a lot more. I might need to play him a lot more. Who knows? It is what it is at this point. Now, without Jaylen Brown, let's see. 25 points per game, 6 rebounds a game, 3.5 assists a game. That's what you're missing from Tatum. That's a lot of points. I mean, Jaylen Brown averages 25 points. Tatum averages 26. That's a lot of points that's taken off. That's a lot. Kemba averages 19 a game. Smart 13. Fournier, who had 30 in the last game against the Heat, averaging 12. If I'm Brad Stevens, I might need to play Peyton Pritchard a little bit more to get the scoring. Peyton Pritchard's a scorer, man. If I haven't seen Peyton Pritchard, he can shoot the rock. Peyton Pritchard might be somebody Brad Stevens need to get more minutes to. He averaging 19 minutes a game. He might need to bump it up to 25. He might need to bump it up to 25, 28 for Peyton Pritchard. Fournier's getting 29. Keep him right around there because that's what you need. You need some offense. Kemba Walker, you got to do better. Kemba got to do better. Kemba needs to be a better scorer now. He has to. Because the Celtics without Brown, that's a significant hit. We know Tatum's gonna get his, but who's gonna come along for the ride? Who's gonna come along for the ride for the Boston Celtics besides Jason Tatum? That's the question heading into the play. Because at this rate, I don't think they're gonna catch Miami. Even though Miami's only up actually two whole games. That's 2 whole games. Yeah. That means Miami need to lose 2. Boston need to win 2. That's the catch. I don't know. I don't see. So it's gonna be interesting to see how this works out for the Boston Celtics and Brad Stevens. Look, I like Boston. I love this team. But man, y'all been underachieving all season, and now we about at the end of the season, and then you lose Jaylen Brown. You gotta think through. Now, another team we're gonna look at that's in the playing spot. Matter of fact, is in the same spot as the Boston Celtics. It's the Los Angeles Lakers, the reigning, defending, undisputed NBA champions. Shout out to Paul Heyman. I like doing that because of Paul Heyman. Yes, I'm a wrestling fan. For those who don't know, the Los Angeles Lakers. Who could get back LeBron James as soon as tonight? Well, we're going to get to tonight because that's part of the key games to watch. They can get LeBron James back soon as tonight. Now, the Lakers have been injury prone. LeBron's been out. AD's been out. You know, they had to play shuffleboard with the lineup, trying to find the right mesh for the team. But yet, they are alive for the play-in. And only a game back from the Portland Trail Blazers to make the playoffs and not playing the play-in. But guess what? If the Lakers do play in the play-in tournament, that actually is bad for the West. Now, playmaker, what you mean? If the Lakers play in the play-in tournament, how's that bad for the West? Because you giving AD and LeBron another game to get back in rhythm. And the last thing you want to do is give the defending champs time to get back. You remember when Baylor was struggling because they missed like 3 games from COVID? They missed like 3 weeks because of COVID. They got a number one seed in their region, and they got to play a 16 seed, which we all knew they was gonna win. You know what that 16? You know what that meant for them? And those of you who were following me, who listened to the episode, you can all attest to this. I said that's the game that they needed right there. That's the game for them to get back in rhythm. They did what they did. They did what a number 1 does with number 16. They beat them down, and they took them out. And then you seen what Baylor did. They went on a run to win the whole damn thing. The whole damn thing. And beating the brakes off exactly who was the best. Who was considered the best team in basketball until they made the championship. Now, look at this. The reigning defending champs, the Los Angeles Lakers. Who was without AD for a month or 2, who was without LeBron for about a month. And you telling me if they get in the play-in tournament, they got to play either Golden State, Memphis, or San Antonio, who they can easily beat if we're being honest with ourselves. Now, y'all know, I'm not a Lakers fan. I never liked the Lakers. I never liked the Lakers when Shaq was there. I never liked the Lakers when Kobe was there. I don't like the Lakers now with LeBron and AD there. But if we being realistic here, you're going to give the Lakers an opportunity to get back in rhythm against the 3 teams who've been fighting for their playoff lives. And if they beat them, they'll end up seeing either the Utah Jazz, the best team in the league, or the Phoenix Suns in a 7-game series as of the reigning defending champs. Y'all better pay attention. The best thing for Laker haters, including myself, is for them in Portland to switch spots so that it's the Clippers and the Lakers round 1. Because if the Lakers get in the play-in spot and they get Utah or Phoenix and they knock them off, best believe the Lakers are finna be on the road. This is me. This is my take. This is how I feel about it. But with LeBron coming back, and as of right now, the Lakers are in the play-in tournament, and they most likely end up playing Golden State for the 7th spot. I don't think you want that. I don't think Phoenix wants any part of the Lakers as their first round opponent. I really don't. I don't think the Lakers want any part of the Lakers as the first round opponent. I love Phoenix. I like Phoenix team. I like Chris Paul, Devin Booker, and DeAndre Ayton. I like the team. This team without Chris Paul went 8-0 in the bubble. On the restart, they just missed the playoffs. And they continue on this year. That's why their record is 48-20. So going back to the bubble, they are 56-20. But your first round matchup is a possibility against the reigning defending champs, which means you have to bring your A game every game. I mean, you should bring your A game every game anyway because it's the playoffs. But we being realistic, you can't bring your A game every game in the playoffs because it's a 7-game series. There's some games you're just gonna be off. But you don't want to have those against the reigning defending champs in the first round matchup. That's all I'm saying. So, if I'm the West, I would be very, very worried of where the Lakers are seated at. Because if they seated in 6, you can feel good because it's going to be the battle for LA. Paul George, Kawhi versus AD and LeBron. Something that was devolved over from last year because the Clippers choked against the Nuggets. We probably can get in the first round. I don't mind. But if the Lakers are in the 7th spot, maybe the 8th spot, because they're only 2 games up on Golden State. I'm scared. If I'm Utah and the Phoenix Suns, I'm scared. I don't want the Lakers in the play-in. I want the Lakers in the 6th spot. Give them the Clippers. Let them beat each other up. But if the Lakers is in the play-in spot, best believe they're going to see Utah or Phoenix in the first round of the playoffs. And that's not a good thing for neither one of them. It's not. It really isn't. That's just my take. That's just my take. Bradley Beal will be out for at least 2 games for the Washington Wizards, which kind of hurts their chances. But like I said earlier, I believe Russell Westbrook will find a way to get them through it and get them in the playing spot. Games to look at for it starting tonight. We have the Denver Nuggets are at the Charlotte Hornets at 7 p.m. The Clippers are at Toronto at 7:30. TNT has your doubleheader tonight starting at 7:30. Miami Heat are back in Boston for round 2. At 8 o'clock, you got the Philadelphia 76ers at the Indiana Pacers. Also at 8, the Brooklyn Nets are in Chicago to take on the Bulls. And the Dallas Mavericks are in Memphis to take on the Grizzlies. 10 p.m., the Phoenix Suns are in the Bay Area to take on the Golden State Warriors. And then your nightcap, I mentioned it. LeBron James could return tonight at Staples Center at home as Julius Randle and the New York Knicks coming in. It's the Knicks and the Lakers. When was the last time we saw the Knicks and the Lakers on national television? Man, what a year this has been for the NBA. That's the key guys to look at for tonight. Tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen, May 12th, Wednesday. Starting at 7 p.m., ESPN doubleheader. The Washington Wizards are in Atlanta yet again to take on the Hawks. Round 2 of this matchup. At 8 p.m., the San Antonio Spurs are in Brooklyn to take on the Nets. At 9, we have the New Orleans Pelicans in Dallas to take on the Mavs. And then your doubleheader of ESPN, your nightcap. The Portland Trail Blazers are in Salt Lake City to take on the number 1 team in the NBA, the Utah Jazz. That's Wednesday's T games to watch for you. Thursday's T games to watch, May 13th. Starting at 7 p.m., the LA Clippers are in Charlotte to take on the Hornets. The Milwaukee Bucks are in Indiana to take on the Pacers. Both games are at 7. TNT has your doubleheader at 7:30. The Philadelphia 76ers are in South Beach to take on the Miami Heat. Good game to watch. The San Antonio Spurs are staying in New York, but this time going from the Barclays Center to the Madison Square Garden to take on Julius Randle and the New York Knicks. 8 o'clock, the Toronto Raptors are in Chicago to take on the Bulls. Also at 8, the Sacramento Kings are in Memphis to take on the Grizzlies. And your nightcap, the second of your doubleheader on TNT, the Portland Trail Blazers are in Phoenix to take on the Phoenix Suns. Ladies and gentlemen, we are down the stretch. This is realistic. Teams know they have no room for error now. They must do what they need to do to get into the play-in tournament or get a playoff spot. We shall see where we stand at on Friday, as we'll be 2 days away from the season ending. And then we'll get ready for the play-in and then in the playoffs. So with that being said, from Jacksonville, Florida, on this beautiful day, May 11, 2021, down at the Playmaker Silence signing off of Tuesday's edition of Hoops Talk. I will catch y'all on Friday. Woo! I hope you guys enjoyed that episode as much as I enjoy bringing it to you. So if you want to stay updated and know when new episodes of Hoop Talks come out, subscribe and follow to the podcast. You can do this on Google Podcasts, Spotify, Speaker.com, or or any of your favorite platforms, including iTunes/Apple Podcasts. And for those of you who are listening on iTunes and Apple Podcasts, go ahead and drop a rate and review of the podcast to let us know how we're doing and how we can improve. And for those of you who want to see any other podcasts that we got going on, go ahead and subscribe to our website, theplaymakersblog.com, and you can see all the podcasts that we do. Until next time for Hoops Talk, it's your boy, the Playmaker down there, Silent, signing off.